Okay, so I think we have one more topic that we want to cover today, and it's going to be our game of the week for Week 13, and that's going to be the Cardinals versus the Rams. I don't know exactly who I'm going to pick just yet, but I really don't like picking against my guy Kyler. So it's going to be hard. However, this Ram defense is for real. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
My thoughts are sometimes the Rams defense is for real. Sometimes they're not so for real.
So any defense ever?
Well, yeah, look. They're a weird team because, they beat the Seahawks. Oh, they lose to the Dolphins. What?
I think we can call that.
Well, that was
an
on the
upset.
offense.
It's kind of weird because I think of this team as is Jared Goff going to have a higher end on the mediocre side or a lower end on the mediocre side, and whichever one of those is, they usually determines how well they do.
To sum it up, you said, is Jared Goff going to play good or bad? That determines if they win. Is that what you said?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
God,
it's an astute observation.
But if your name is Sean McVay and you are the head coach of the Rams, listen to me. Cooper Kupp is a top 1 receiver in the league right now.
No, stop it.
Not only is he my son, but he was amazing. He was the number 2 receiver in fantasy for a few weeks last year. Please, Sean McVay, tell Goff to throw it to my boy Kupp. That's my take.
Well, right? I don't know. Whoever Pat Pete is going to be covering this week, they're not going to get targeted. So if that's Cooper Kupp, then I don't know.
Well, whoever Jalen Ramsey is covering is not getting targeted, and I think we know who he's covering.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if that's necessarily
I think they're still going to target him. I don't think they're going to throw it at Andy Isabella all of a sudden because Jalen Ramsey is covering.
I will not
I'm not disrespecting. I'm not disrespecting Christian Kirk or Andy Isabella, okay? They're both very solid wide receivers. Listen, this game, divisional games are always weird, okay? We know that. If realistically, the Cardinals are probably a better team than the Rams. The Rams are very inconsistent. They're very bipolar. I'll agree with Riley there. Sometimes their defense shows up and is the best defense in the league. Sometimes they get scored on like it's nothing. So I'll agree with that. I think the Rams show up today in this game. And I think they don't shut down Kyler, but they contain him enough to the point where Jared Goff can make some plays on offense, and they win this game. I'll say it is going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but the Rams outscored the Cardinals at the end of the day, and the Rams get the dub.
Well, for this game, Kyler Murray isn't having the best game. Honestly, he's having his worst game of the entire year against the Patriots right now. And, that's to be expected. Bill is very good at stopping QBs like Kyler Murray, young, fast QBs. We saw it with Lamar Jackson earlier in the year. But I feel like Kyler is just going to be able to bounce back. I know that they have Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, but, he's been playing great all year, and I don't think one game is going to change the tide. We were just talking about how he's already in the MVP conversation and playing better than Deshaun Watson. I don't think that one game is going to necessarily stop his entire momentum. I think that he's going to bounce back, and they're going to be able to get this one.
Look, no one's playing better defensive football on the planet than Aaron Donald. He's Defensive Player of the Year, as far as I'm concerned. Jalen Ramsey is off from a game where he just shut down DK Metcalf, one of the most impressive players in the league. Jared Goff, look, he wasn't great against Tampa, but, he's never great. He's mediocre, right? And, I'll take a mediocre quarterback with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, Look, he's not going to be great. Once again, I'd like to say, if Matthew Stafford was on that team, I'd be talking about them like they're a Super Bowl contender, whatever. Love Matthew Stafford, start him. But, look, I think they beat Arizona. I think they're the best team in the NFC West right now, the Rams. I think they would beat the Seahawks if they were playing them right now. I think they beat the Cardinals. And obviously they beat the 49ers. No question about it.
that's a hot one to end on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm a little bit
They're
surprised.
real-
Am I saying
okay.
anything about that?
Well, the
snuck
49ers
this
is a
Russell
given.
Wilson a little bit there.
The 49ers
But-
is a given.
Right.
But,
We
like,
all
Seahawks,
kind of.
they're
I think
not.
didn't we all pick them, or except Benji against the Cardinals,
Who?
the Rams over
The
Cardinals.
Rams?
We all picked.
I'm
them.
taking the Rams. But I'm not taking the Rams with the Seahawks.
Riley's
I'm gonna
just
take
saying-
the Cardinals on this one.
Let's go.
You can't
Wait a
say.
second. He
Stop
likes
switching
Kyler
back
now.
and
Wait a
forth,
second. He
man.
likes
This is-
Kyler.
I'm not
I
talking
know.
about Kyler. You realize that there's more people on the 53-man roster.
Nope.
He's the
Nope,
best.
it's only Kyler
he's
Murray.
the
It's only
second
Kyler
best
Murray.
on that team.
Kyler
That was the
Murray
best
is
thing
the only
Riley
person
said
there.
all episode.
I hate it here.
That was so
I hate
great.
it.
All of that.
That just
I'd rather-
invalidates
I'm
everything
taking
you
the
said
Cardinals.
previously.
I'm taking the
It's
Cardinals.
my point.
I hate
You know,
it here.
although my beautiful Pats, managed to force the win to move that kick out of the uprights, and now there's a chance to tie it and to go into OT.
Okay.
The Cards are still a good team, and I think they're gonna be the Rams.
Yeah, they are.
Look,
Yeah.
they're off. The Rams are off a 2-win streak over the Seahawks and Tampa Bay, which are arguably like 2 and 3 in the NFC. Like, what else do they have to do to prove themselves? Beat the
Tampa Bay is
Cardinals? I
also
think they'll do it.
kinda
Yeah, beat
inconsistent.
Kyler Murray.
Tampa Bay's what? Okay, inconsistent. Fine. Yeah, that's solid. But they're still a good team.
Yeah,
They have one of the
I
best
agree.
offenses in the league and a great defense.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
say I want to
they're
talk
fine.
more about Tampa Bay's defense. I think that's the more important thing. Because when their offense plays, they're one of the better teams in the league. But when their offense doesn't play, the defense is still pretty good.
I'd say the
although,
defense better than the offense. I mean, Tom Brady definitely has his fair share of duds that he likes to throw now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were talking about it earlier where he's just 0-19 on deep ball throws, which is terrible.